Good afternoon, dear colleagues. The Ukrainian Crisis Media Center started its work, and the topic of the press briefing is fourth medical mission of Canadian doctors to Ukraine. And I give the floor to Viktor Hetmanczuk, president of the Canada-Ukrainian Foundation. Also, our speaker, Anatoliy Kazmirchuk, head of the National Military Medical Clinical Center, main clinical military hospital, Colonel Ihor Fedirko, and also the PhD and McMacRae, Toronto University, and Christina Waller, Director of Humanitarian Initiatives of Ukrainian Canada Foundation. You are given the floor. Good afternoon, dear colleagues, and I welcome you here, and we welcome our Canadian colleagues at our clinical center. And it is pleasant to understand that today's meeting is the fourth meeting, and everything started about 2 years ago, when after the Revolution of Dignity there were a lot of wounded and injured people who needed help they needed surgical help, cranial and facial restoration treatment, and also our Canadian colleagues came here to help us. If we compare the following missions, there was good cooperation among teams, both from Canadian sides and the Ukrainian side. And the first mission was really hard, but it makes us stronger. And we completed a task of providing help to the injured. And in our center, the patients that were treated, those who were injured in the UTO area. And if you are speaking about the number of patients that were provided with professional treatment, it's about 100 patients. And each mission lasted for a week, and it was a hard work. It happens so that sometimes 2 or 3 or even 5 or 6 surgical operations are needed. It takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of courage and professionalism. And equipment is also needed for this. And every mission our Canadian colleagues, they took different medicines with them, and also some materials that were used for surgery, for cranial and facial operations, and also other operations, and also with the help of Canadian government. In our center, we will have specialized medical instruments and equipment that is used in different operations and surgical operations. And also we will have some expensive equipment that will be used to provide help, special treatment to the patients that need this. And also, I would like to say that during these years, we cooperated with our colleagues greatly. We are like a family, and those doctors that come from Canada and our surgeon, our doctors and medical staff, they are like a family. They understand each other, and it helps to solve all those tasks that are before them. And today is the first day of the planned medical operations, and it will be about 10 operations. And today also we select patients for treatment and operations. And these will be different types of operations. And that's why today the first day was for organization purposes, and now our colleagues they carry out their tasks, and this will be carried out till the end of the week. And I would like to thank the organizers of this mission, Viktor, Hetmanczuk, Mr. Dr. Oleh Antonyshyn, and who is on duty today. And also I would like to thank Christina Waller, who is from the very start of this operation. 2 years ago, she started to work with us, and she continues to work with us, and we thank them a lot. And this is a much needed help, and really specialized, high-quality help that is needed by our soldiers and those who were wounded. And we hope for further cooperation. This was Anatoliy Kazmirchuk, and the next speaker is Igor.
Good morning. Adding to what the head of the National Military Medical Center, main clinical military hospital, has said, I would like to add that our clinic of craniofacial surgery and dentistry clinic has already 100 years of history. It was established during the years of the First World War, when a lot of injured people, wounded soldiers had been arriving to the hospital, and the big need was felt to create this craniofacial surgery clinic. The further step in our history, new step in our history, started when Canadian clinic and Canadian Foundation approached us, suggesting and offering their help. And of course, we accepted this help with big thanks, and I would like to use this opportunity to thank you once again to all those citizens of Canada, and to all those who donated money, who contributed their efforts during the Maidan and events and ATO events. We found out that wounded people needed not just craniofacial surgery, but also neurobrain surgeries and other combined surgery and treatments. And currently we have three different groups of specialists working with the patients, and each group works almost independently, uniting their efforts when this is needed. I would like to thank to Mr. Antonyshyn, to Mr. Hetmanczuk, and Madam Waller, who spent a lot of donor money to equip our clinic and I think that this was not just contribution to improving the health of today's generation, but also we will assist much more people in the future. I invite Ms. Christina Waller. I'm Christina Waller, Director of Humanitarian Initiative of Ukraine Canada Foundation, and manager of this project. Unfortunately, we cannot have Dr. Oleh Antonyshyn with us today at this press briefing because he is in the operational room now, in the surgery room doing the surgery. And nevertheless, I would like to express my support to Mr. Hetmanczuk, Mr. Kazmirchuk and Colonel Fedirko. With each mission, when we come here, we feel ourselves like the family. Jointly, we managed to help and revive 100 patients. We carried out more than 180 craniofacial reconstructions, and funding arrived through National Security, Canadian National Security Fund, which allowed us to supply the clinic with necessary equipment and bringing all those equipment and tools with us. We leave them here. Thus, patients will be able to get very professional and high quality operations. Today we have Dr. Mark McLean who will speak English, but he's representing our team. In general, we have more than 22 people, including surgery doctors, nurseries, medical assistants, etc. All those who arrive from Canada, more than 20 people, they are volunteers, and their work is supported by Ukrainian money, and all of them wish to contribute to development of independent Ukraine. Dr. Mark McCain is a good example of those who have no Ukrainian roots and no relation to Ukraine, but feels that he should support Ukraine at these difficult times, and he is arriving eagerly here. I would like to give the floor to Kim.
Our team here, and this wonderful opportunity for us to come over and support the Ukraine and collaborate with the team here. It's been really an excellent opportunity. It's my second time here, and I have to say that the surgeries that we do here are very complex and very involved surgeries that do require a team approach. And these are problems that you don't come across every day. Even in North America, these are injuries that with high energy and high complexity, and it's really a wonderful opportunity to come together and bring some of the technologies that we have and some of the equipment, and be able to work with the experience of Dr. Fedirko and others here and their team, and to really come together and be able to make really amazing things happen for the people of Ukraine and the soldiers and the brave people that are serving this country and that have been involved in this conflict. So it is a wonderful opportunity for me. I don't have Ukrainian background myself. There's a large community in Canada that is affiliated with the Ukraine and the large diaspora there. So I do know many people back in Canada. But I will have to say that the experience coming here and now coming back, it's a wonderful one, and I think it really speaks to the good things that can happen when you have people cooperating across international boundaries to have a common goal together. So just thank everybody for having us here, and all the the tremendous amount of organization that's needed both on the Ukrainian side and also back in Canada. It's excellent work. Okay.
Дякую. І до слова запрошується Віктор Hetmanczuk, президент канадського.
It's my pleasure to give the floor to Mr. Viktor Hetmanczuk, President of the Canada-Ukraine Foundation. Thank you very much. I won't repeat what my colleagues already mentioned. I just wish to present what Canada-Ukraine Foundation has been doing. It's not just medical help, but we have just established the bus, Ukraine Holodomor study bus, and for 3 years this bus will travel around Canada and inform Canadian students, school children, about those events those tragic events in Ukraine. Also, during this incoming year, we will send 16 ambulance cars to Kyiv. 8 ambulances out of them will travel to Kharkiv, and also we will provide training for drivers of those ambulances. Also, we plan that each quarter we will supply 1 container with multiple equipment for hospitals, and we will supply hospitals in turn. That is, each hospital will receive 1 container per quarter. And also we have 1 project about Mykola Mizhikovsky, who was terribly wounded. He had no 2 legs and 1 hand, and now he is in the hospital in Montreal. And he is 12 years old, and for 10 years we will work with him unless he is 21. Also, we have the project with Ternopil University, where we train medical sisters in post-traumatic stress disorders, based on Canadian books translated into Ukrainian, and now we are implementing this methodology, applying this methodology in Ukraine. This was very brief information about the activities of our foundation, which you find on our website. Maybe we have any questions. Maybe I'm going ahead a bit, but as far as I understand, this is the last surgery mission during this project, whether there will be further missions. As of the moment, we do not plan for further missions. From the very beginning, our objective was to supply the clinic with necessary equipment and new tools. Mr. Fedirko now has extensive experience. As far as I know, Mr. Antonyshyn will travel in the future, will visit the clinic, but we are not sure that we will have such a big missions of 22 people. We will discuss how it might be useful to continue our cooperation, but we will see how it will look like in the future. And any further question? Lesa Galavata, 5th channel. Could you mention about the budget of this mission? How much money the government of Canada had contributed? The Canadian government had paid for 2 missions. missions. They provided us with 1.2 million Canadian dollars. This included 2 missions. This was training via production of Patriots organization. These were trainings for those soldiers who go to the front line, including the Sunnybrook Hospital in Canada and military hospital in Ukraine. Also observership visits. Mr. Fedirko visited the Great Britain with the special training mission, and we have already invited him to Canada, and more than 700,000 hryvnia Canadian dollars was spent for equipment. Thank you, dear friends, and we expect to have you on the next briefing on Friday, and our next briefing will be at noon sharp.